everybody. Welcome to the Shero Commerce LinkedIn Live. I'm Beth Shero. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Shero Commerce. Thanks for joining us today. I'm excited to talk a little bit about our Shopify event last week. And we have a return guest, Gentian Shero, who'll be talking about CRO and some things to remove from your website to help conversion. So some fun things to talk with you all today. Again, thank you for joining us. We are your e-commerce experts, and I'm excited to get started today. So as some of you may know, we had a Shopify event in New York City last week with our sponsors, Clayvu, and we had Nile, the CEO, join us to give a little talk about Clayvu and all the great things they're doing with their search tool. And we also had Tom from Vermont join to talk about PPC, paid media, omni-channel sales, things of that nature. And it was pretty interesting to hear everybody's input and talk to agencies, partners, clients to see what's happening to them in the industry and how we can learn and grow together. So I'd love to welcome our guest, Gentian Shero, if he can come in here today. Hi,
Hello.
Gentian. How are you?
Hey, Beth. Thank you for having me, even though we're in the same building at our office, at our HQ, but in different rooms. But nice to be back on the LinkedIn Live.
Thank you. Would you please give a little intro about yourself for our new guests to the party?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Gentian. I'm one of the co-founders of Shero with Beth. Over the years, I've worn many hats, but my area of expertise is SEO, inbound, analytics, and I have a pretty good understanding through analytics how people convert and how to optimize sites for better conversions and for more traffic.
Yes, thank you. And there's been a lot of changes recently with analytics, which is a whole nother hot topic in itself that I'm sure people would love to learn more about. But today we're here to focus on the CRO and some of the tips you gave at the Shopify event. So if you weren't able to attend, you'll be able to learn about some of that. And we also have a great blog post that you created that we're going to share at the end. Is that correct?
Yep. So absolutely.
Awesome. So to get started, we have a couple slides just to show some of the images from the event. How do you think the event went? What were your takeaways?
I mean, it went great. We had around 250 signups. Um, the issue was that the weather in New York City that night was pretty amazing, and our meetup, even though we had like drinks and food, people probably chose to go for a walk or enjoy the nice weather. So we had a pretty good turnout. The event was very useful. I learned a lot. It was great to talk to other merchants, see Nile, Tom from Vermont. Their topics were pretty eye-opening, and we got a lot of questions on the CRO subject.
Yes, we did. It was great to hear the questions that people had. So we can dive in there. Once again, I want to thank Clayvu for helping the event, being the sponsor, and Nile coming all the way from the UK, and Tom as well, flying in from the UK. So it was great to have everybody there supporting. As you can see, some of the great pictures of all of us and enjoying the event. So just to kind of dive into the topic here, CRO, I'm sure most people understand that means conversion rate optimization. I don't think there's a perfect silver bullet to fix CRO, right? But I think you have some good tips to get people started. So do you want to kind of talk through what your thoughts are on CRO?
Yes. So the big topic of CRO, conversion rate optimization. First, what is CRO? And the definition of it is that conversion rate optimization is the process of influencing your visitors to take a desired action. Because we're in e-commerce and we're an e-com agency, usually for most of our clients, that desired action includes an email sign up. It includes submitting a form. It includes adding a product to cart, and ultimately it includes placing an order. CRO for other companies or organizations that don't do e-commerce can be someone submitting. It's a lead gen primarily, and also an inbound phone call. So that's CRO in summary. A lot of people, when you first ask them, like, hey, what is the main factor that is influencing your conversions on your website? A lot of people might think that design is the main factor. While design it impacts conversions, it is not the only factor. And if you are to break it down from a psychological perspective, is that when someone hits your website, there are 5 key factors that influence them to actually convert and place an order. And they are, as you can see here on the screen, like solve, value, delivery, support, and social proof. Do you want me to walk through all of them, Beth, to explain, to say a few things about each of them?
Yeah, maybe just at a high level, just
Yeah,
so people
okay.
understand what you mean by that. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
sure. So when a visitor hits your website, uh, they need to see like how your product is solving their problem. They don't need to. You should never have on the on the main slider a sentence or a header or a call to action that starts with "we." It is all about the product and what are the benefits of the product and how they are solving the customer's problem, a need, or a want. The best example for this is like Dale Carnegie and on how to win friends and influence others. So your website is not about we, it's not about you basically, but it is about like talking in terms of other people's interests and what interests them the most. And here is like, again, you need to solve their problem. So that's solving the problem that your site needs to directly communicate to the visitor. Next is value. So when you set up your pricing, you need to be competitive, as price is one of the main factors, but also you need to show value, and value you can do it through a free promo, free shipping. You can bundle a free gift, let's say like a free personalization or a free gift, and so on and so forth. But whatever the price that you are putting on your product, it needs to, you need to articulate it on your website, why the price is that, and you need to make a case that, hey, the value for the visitor is there. Third, on the delivery, once someone, your product solves their problem when they land on your website, the value price-wise and the different offers that you have around pricing works for them and their budget. They need to know, like, in terms of delivery, how fast will it deliver? Is there a local pickup? Is there free shipping above a certain threshold, for example? So they need to be communicated very clearly on your website, to be showcased prominently, whether on the PDP page, on the header as a main banner if needed, and anywhere else possible. So solving the problem, value, delivery. Then once someone is convinced that, hey, this company ships to me for free, or I have to place an order of $99 and above to get free shipping, or this is what the shipping will be for if my order is less than that, they need to know what happens after they have placed the order and it has been delivered. Is there a warranty? Is there what is the support that you offer? How can they get a hold of you? They need to see what kind of support you offer, and that needs to be like very easy to access, that needs to be prominently on the website, the shipping policy, the returns and refunds, the warranty. And if you do offer them, why hide them? Why make the person go like on the contact us page or on the different policies pages? You should showcase it directly on the product page, on the PDP page, and preferably even with a pop-up actually for the support and return, so that the visitor doesn't have to leave your product page, which is the most important page of all. And last of the 5 factors that influence conversion rate optimizations on a website is social proof. And social proof can include reviews, can include any rewards, can include any technology that your product uses, or any accreditations that your company has. So basically, if your product is good for someone else, think of Apple, for example, the long lines when they release a new product. We have that herd pack mentality, that we want to be part of the herd. And when people check out the reviews on your website, if you don't have reviews, if they see like an accreditation or some sort of other social proof, that increases the chance of them placing an order. So yeah, those are the 5 factors. I took a little longer, but I hope that makes sense.
So I guess the way I would summarize that is, it's not just one thing. There's no silver bullet to conversion rate optimization. There are many factors that play into it and that you need to think about and address to constantly improve that conversion rate. Would that be a good summary?
Yes, and it is an ongoing kind of exercise, that you cannot just set it and forget it.
Yep.
Trends change, probably, like seasons change, competition changes, and they do a really good job. So you have to be constantly on top of it to analyze, like, what is your conversion rate and what can you do on an ongoing basis to improve that.
Yeah, I love that you bring that up, because I think data is so critical in that process. And to your point, like, maybe a pop-up for understanding, customer service or when it's going to be delivered might work for some people, but for others it might not work. Like, depending on your vertical and industry and what you're selling, you need to try different things and do A/B testing. And I know you have a list of tools that you recommend to our customers. So maybe you can just pull those up and you can walk us through that, because you just like have a gut thought or like pull something from the sky. Like, you need to use data to like make these decisions, right? Like, it doesn't just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have the tools that we have on this slide is number 1 when it comes to conversion rate optimization. We need to be obsessed with our Google Analytics and GA4 specifically, because they provide insights into our visitors' behavior, traffic sources, conversion metrics, and so on and so forth. So that's the number 1 tool that you use when it comes to understanding, what is happening on your website and how your conversion is and how it compares to other competitors in the industry. Second, we have Hotjar. And Hotjar has session recordings, has heat maps and surveys that help you understand your users and the behavior. We have the visual website optimizer that does A/B testing, heat maps as well, just like Hotjar, and a few other conversion tracking tools. Crazy Egg, which is the brother-in-law, I think, of Neil Patel that owns it. They offer heat maps, A/B testing again, and user recordings to analyze and improve usability on a site. Lucky Orange is pretty similar to Hotjar, but I think that they have a live chat that you can talk to your visitors in real time. Um, I added Optimizely here. It used to be pretty amazing. They still do some A/B testing, but it's not. They are not as focused anymore on A/B testing. And you have Unbounce, which is amazing to create and test different landing pages when it comes to optimizing the site. And also our favorite tool for reviews and good partner, Yotpo. And they offer reviews and the user-generated content as well, which kind of improves your reviews and adds to your social proof, basically. So those are some of the tools that can be used for CRO.
And it's great for SEO because you're getting a lot of rich content, right, from other sources, like your users. So it's very credible.
Yep.
Great, thanks. And there are so many tools out there, so that's just like a hot list. I feel like I hear about a new tool every day, but if there's another tool that you want to recommend or you think, please leave a comment here and we can highlight that. Everybody's, using tools in different ways these days. So thank you for sharing those. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit. You have some things that you're recommending people fix/remove from their website. Do you want to talk high level about these things based on what you're seeing? Because we do want to share a blog post where they can read all the details. But I'm going to start with the first one, if that's okay.
Yeah. So after the meetup, because of time constraints, like you couldn't include, and the list can go on and on. We can add more to it, but I published a blog post with like 20 things that someone that has an e-commerce website should consider or remove immediately because they are impacting their conversions, social proof, and so on and so forth. And the first one of them is I see this quite often on e-commerce sites, whether on Shopify or other platforms, that they put their social media icons way on top above the navigation, whether on the left or right. And what you're doing there is that whether you acquire the visitor organically or through paid search or a referral from another site, you're telling them like, hey, go check my social media right away.
So it's a distraction.
yeah. So instead, you need to keep them engaged with your amazing homepage slider and your products that you are showcasing, and you kind of like are guiding them through the user journey to scroll down on your homepage and to also go to other product pages that you need. So if you do have social media icons that they are way up on the navigation, remove them and put them on the footer as soon as possible because you are just distracting your visitors.
And number two, another distraction.
Yes. So this is my favorite, not really, but I mean like that. I see this quite often, and the majority of e-commerce sites that have a blog, they keep publishing dates on their blog posts. So what this does is that, say that you have a recipe that your grandma left you 30 years ago. If you wrote that as a blog post, you don't technically need to put a date because the recipe was good 30 years ago, is good today, and it will be good in the next, in the future. So by publishing dates on a blog post, your content seems dated, feels dated when someone goes that lands on that page and see that, hey, this article is from like 2019. Oh, this is outdated. They just bounce back. So
I'll just add something there. I know like whenever I'm searching for info in the search results, if it has an old date, and I didn't even really realize this, but like thinking about it, I just avoid that. I'm like, it's not even fresh content, so why should I read it unless I really can't find what I need from a newer article? So I think it's, a psychological thing. And as someone trying to find something, you always want the freshest content. But if there's no date on it, you're not even thinking about that, right? So just saying, like, from a user standpoint, I think this is a very valid point that you're making.
Yeah. Well, it stops the content from being evergreen, and as you said, Beth, it impacts like CTRs on Google search results because the content is from like 5-10 years ago. It might still be like top notch and relevant, but when someone sees that, they don't click on that search result, come to your website. And also, when someone is to link to your site, they want to link and direct their traffic and their visitors when they provide, statistical data or research or anything else to updated content versus
Right.
something that is, so you lose backlinks. And so removing them, it increases that longevity of your content and efforts.
All right, number 3. This one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, so when it comes to like making your website convert, you want to make it as easy as possible for your visitors to contact you. And I had this example here is like Fire and Kettle, I think, Kettle and Fire, the website. And when you go to contact them, they use Typeform, and they state right at the beginning that, hey, it takes 7 minutes to submit this form. By in 7 minutes, I would have had my coffee and gone, and it's
Called it a day.
you shouldn't put it, you shouldn't make it difficult for someone to contact you. This is like too hard. You have to go through multiple steps, and then they ask you. They are on Shopify, by the way, and then they ask you like, hey, do you have anything to upload? It's like everyone has to upload, and the form gets stuck for like 30 seconds, and then they realize that you don't have anything. So instead of doing something like this,
just to argue, maybe they do that to avoid people actually submitting issues. Maybe it was done on purpose.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
anyways, we could argue that one for a bit. Let's go to number 4.
Yes. So another thing that you should remove from your website is having manufacturer descriptions for your products. If you are the manufacturer, okay, that's great. But if you are like selling a product that someone else is making, or if you are even drop shipping, you shouldn't use manufacturer descriptions, because that manufacturer gives that product catalog to 500 other people. So to Google, basically, your product description is not different than the other 500 websites. Instead, you should put a lot of effort to change that product description, enrich it with as much information, features, PDFs, whatnot, anything possible that you can add would help you. So I would remove manufacturer descriptions and create your own.
I know this is like a painful one because some catalogs are so large. So like I know at the Shopify event, you made the suggestion of like picking your top 20 products and optimizing those and making it kind of like a project, which I always suggest to customers as well, because you can't do it all, but you need some sort of description. So using the data from Google Analytics to figure out what are your top products, for example, or wherever you want to pull that data from, can help kind of guide you along that way.
Yep.
And then number 5.
So this is a tricky one, because there is like this dichotomy that some people love, marketing teams love multiple slides on a homepage slideshow, and some people just want one. So in order to make everyone happy, they kind of agree to disagree, and sometimes like too many slideshows. So the number one is that the goal of the homepage is to send someone somewhere else on the website. And by including too many slides, it is kind of distracting, because what comes first and what is second and what is third. And so I would highly recommend that if you have too many slideshows on the homepage, remove them and possibly keep it to one, to the most important tagline, call to action, header message that you want to communicate to your visitor, and then as you scroll further down the page, there is more space, room to communicate anything else that we would add to a second or third or fourth slide on the slideshow.
Yeah, I and I would say like I wouldn't be afraid of having a longer page if you want to share that information, right? Like there's nothing wrong with having additional calls to action lower on the page, but it slideshows are still pretty widely used, but they don't add a lot of value in most cases and can decrease the conversion rate because people just get confused. They don't know where to go, or it's just overwhelming in some cases. So totally agree with that. Well, thank you for those top 5 tips. And like we said, there is a blog post with 20 of these tips to work on your website. You can scan the QR code here and visit our website at sherocommerce.com. Gentian has spent a lot of time collecting these. Maybe you even have your own tips to suggest. It'd be great in the comments to hear from anyone if we missed anything, or if there's anything you'd want to add. We always love feedback. So lots of information there that can take and actually use. Like it's very practical and can apply to pretty much almost every site. Anything else, Genti, that you want to add about CRO, SEO before we wrap up here today?
No, I mean, just like work diligently, work on, like the 5 things, like solving your customers' problem, offering value, making sure that your delivery options are very clearly displayed on your website, offer amazing support, and work on your social proof. And that's how you will increase your conversions. There is no shortcut to it. There is no, like secret formula. But yeah, and last Beth, I'm going to be in London at the Pulse Summit at the end of the month. I don't know
Right.
if anyone who is listening or watching this video will be there, but looking forward to seeing people there that I know and meeting new ones.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining. We appreciate your input and knowledge, and thank you so much. We also have another event in June. We'll be at the New York City eCommerce Summit on June 27th. So feel free to, hopefully, we get to say hi to some of you that will be at that event. We're excited to be there. Join us. We'll have a whole crew from New York there. And I'm Beth Shero. Always be learning.